Hello, everyone. Thank you once again for tuning in to the Rad Movement here on YouTube. I, as always, am Robbie. It is nice to see you again. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving a shit about yourself and your mental wellness and your overall wellness. Today, the topic is living with medical worry. I was just doing my podcast, Let's Talk About Feelings, on the Reinventing the Tattoo Network. And I was talking with Dusty, who does the podcast with me, and he said, like, living without medical worry, and I was like, wow, that's a weird feeling, right? So, like, I've gotten back into investing into my health and my physical wellness again lately. I got a trainer. So let me give you a little quick story. So I purchased the trainer on a Black Friday deal last year. I started training with him about 10 weeks ago. So it took me that long after pulling the trigger to pay the money to do it, and then like all the other money that I had to pay because he had me going and getting my levels checked and doing all kinds of wild shit. Because I really wanted to make a change in my life and I wanted it to stick. So I wanted to learn how to change my lifestyle. So, you know, I mean, I've gone through all this stuff. I was injecting myself with testosterone replacement therapy, and that was with a needle. I was giving myself semaglutide because I had been pre-diabetic. So I was in a bad spot. I wasn't taking care of myself. So I was in a place of living with medical worry a lot. I was constantly worried about what was going to happen to me because of, you know, my blood pressure being so high. And so one thing I didn't say is 2 days after my son was born, 3 days after he was born, like it was like, I think the day after he came home, basically, I ended up in the hospital because my blood pressure was like 220 over like 120. So it was like ridiculous. I was real dizzy. I was throwing up because I was dizzy. So like life wasn't really all that great for my physical health at that point. And it still took me this long to like get back to it. But I did, and I started making those efforts starting last year. And I just kept moving forward and moving forward and moving forward. And I found a trainer that it seemed like we could work together, and we do. And I went through a whole journey with that too, because I was so mad at myself for how hard it was that I was mad at him. And, you know, like it was kind of like being a defiant teenager. I was like, fucking having me do this app stuff and blah, blah, blah. But like he's got me tracking everything. And I wasn't really a big tracker before. So now I tracked my starting weight, and we did measurements, took pictures. I tracked my meals. I tracked my fasts because I've been intermittent fasting. And that's been really interesting. And I also, throughout the last few months or so, I picked up a functional physician to add into my like physical and kind of mental health regimen, because like it's mental wellness to take care of yourself. It's self-care to go to the doctor and make sure your levels are okay, and not live in the mindset that I used to live in of, I'm afraid of what they're going to tell me, so I don't want to go. And I did that a lot. And it sucked. And so now I'm to the point where Zen is a year and a half almost. And like, I got to get serious, right? So I got serious, and I've already seen some physical development issues. Like I can feel that my belly's gotten smaller. I can feel that my muscles have gotten bigger. I can see that my face has gotten a little bit slimmer. I can see that my physique has trimmed down. The measurements are reading nicely. I gained 3 inches in my biceps. I gained 2.5 inches in my shoulders. I lost 1 inch in my waist and 1/2 inch in my hips. And that was a month ago when we did the measurements. We still haven't done our measurements again yet. So like, I've been on this 9 weeks, and it feels nice to not live with medical worry all the time. Because I know that if I keep this up for 6 months, then it'll be easier to keep it up for another 6 months, and then another 6 months. And then like developing my specific mental wellness, well, actually not mental wellness, my specific wellness plan. This is including mental wellness practices like journaling, getting coached, meditation, and then self-care and having grace for self. And then so many other things too that just branch off it, and not making it so specific and scary and weird, and just making it very broad and natural, because that's what life is. Life is broad and natural. And really what it comes down to is, can I live this way? So my wellness plan includes mental wellness, physical wellness, emotional wellness, spiritual wellness, checking in with myself, seeing what my relationships are like, what my business life is like, what my finances are looking like, what my health looks like, what my, once again, mental stuff, like I'm always checking in. And it's this wide range of things that can fall by the wayside, especially like if we're having a hard time with balance. So we're gonna exercise more but not diet as much, or exercise and diet but then not focus on our relationships as much. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm fully keeping all the plates spinning, but having fun while doing it. And that's like the hardest thing. When me and Dusty were talking earlier in Let's Talk About Feelings, he said, when we get into our physical situations, our physical wellness plan, you need to do this, you need to do that. And he didn't say you need to love it, but that was the thing that kept popping into my head. So one of the things that I've developed is I need to love my workout program. I need to love my diet. I need to love the fact that I give myself cheat days and cheat meals, and I allow myself to have drinks, and I allow myself to still celebrate life in a normal, comfortable way without being a glutton. And my body is reminding me in a number of ways when I overdo it with food or alcohol, my mental wellness isn't so good. My physical gut health feels bad. I just get drained and depleted. And so when I'm taking care of myself and giving myself what I really, fuel and exercise and proper diet and doing a fun intermittent fast, it's been really great to just concentrate on taking care of yourself instead of worrying about medical stuff that you're doing to yourself because you're not taking care of yourself good enough. So that's a big thing. We have to make sure that we've created a wellness plan that works for us and our specific goals and needs. And if not living with medical worries is part of your wellness plan, great. It's part of mine and I love it. So this is just about creating the bridge to close the gap between you and where you want to be with your wellness, overall wellness. Because if you don't take care of your mind or your body, you're going to end up with medical worries. And we don't want that. It's nice to have insurance. It's nice to invest in ourselves. It's nice to have a doctor that we have a good relationship with. I think that's one of the things that my workout regimen was missing, was having a doctor to help me check my levels and make sure that I'm hitting certain physical goals with my physical health, seeing the blood pressure medicines go down and slowly get to the point where I don't have to be on blood pressure medicines, and seeing my sugar numbers be more comfortable to where I'm not in the pre-diabetic range, and just seeing that, wow, I am safe and healthy because I'm taking care of myself. It's such a good place to be. So just think about that, because it's very important, and it's very, very, very beautiful when you can live a life free of medical worry. And I mean, it's never going to be perfect, right? You're always going to have shit that could happen. The most healthy people could drop dead, but I'd rather take care of myself and not worry about dropping dead every day than worry about dropping dead every day and then one day inevitably drop dead. So think about that. I love you. I'm rad and so are you. I'm so happy that you're here with me, sharing time and space with me, giving me your love and appreciation. I return so much love and so much gratitude to every single one of you. Thank you for being a part of my life. I appreciate you. Go out there and be fucking rad. Have a great day.